Hi everyone, this is iCrafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Ruffles and Ribbons bracelet. And sorry, it will not focus. This was not designed by me, it was actually designed by Candy.Crafter. Her new username is _cutiecreations_, and I do not know if she's still continuing to use her account because she deleted her pictures and profile picture. Still, tag us both in the picture if you make it, and I'll put my hashtag on the screen right now. So this bracelet is super pretty. It is reversible. And sorry about the bad out of focusness. I don't know if that's a word. But please give this video a thumbs up if you love this bracelet already. And it's a super cool bracelet. So let's just jump right into the tutorial. You will need any loom that is in the staggered configuration. And you will need a hook. I recommend using a metal tipped hook because this bracelet does have some tension with a lot of overstretched bands. And then you'll only be needing 3 colors. So for the single chain up the center, I have zebra stripe bands. And then for my main colors, I'll be using pearl, Caribbean green, and pink lemonade. And the only other thing you'll be needing is a C-clip or S-clip to hold your bracelet together. Once you've gathered all of the supplies right here, then we can just jump right into the tutorial. For this bracelet, we will actually start with our arrows pointing down. And I know the angle is not that great, but I'm going to just use my zebra bands and go downwards only on the middle pin bar until I reach the end of my loom. So I'm just making a single chain, and because there are going to be 2 more layers of bands, I'm going to just push my bands down as I go. And I did go pretty fast, so as always, you can pause the video if you need to go slower or anything like that. And now I'll be using my pink lemonade bands. And right here at the top, I'm just going to go diagonally on either side. And then for all of my pink, I'm going to go down my loom with these arrows pointing up, if that makes sense. So you're just going to be going diagonally, and it will be higher in the middle. It does not matter if you put the first bands on the left or on the right, because it will still look the same. If you want it to look identical, then you can start on one side, but yeah. I don't really know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to cut this out because then you won't see me placing the bands. Also, it's been a while since I've actually filmed a rainbow loom tutorial, so that is why I sound kind of weird. So I'm just doing the same exact pattern. And the last band that I'm going to place is this one, so you're not going to do it here. And this is what my loom looks like. I'm going back to the top, and I said back really weird. And I'm going to start placing my Caribbean green bands. And I know this color combination is really overused, but I really couldn't think of anything else. And the first bands that we place with our green is different than the rest of the process, so just be careful and don't go ahead. So I'm going to go on the first pin, again arrows pointing down like always, the first pin on the left, diagonally to the second pin in the middle, and going to just mirror that on the other side. So it's basically an arrow pointing down. But now we're not going to do this pattern anymore. We're actually going to be doing bands in the shape of a triangle. And this is where the tension is. So make sure that you're very careful so your bands don't snap. And I'm going to pretend I'm placing it downwards on the left, and then I'm just going to stretch it, and it's going to go to the middle pin that's diagonally below. So that probably made no sense, but another way to do it is pretend you're going like that one above in an arrow pointing down, and you're just going to stretch it to the pin above. So you're basically making a triangle around these 3 pins, and it's going to be a long stretch. So I'm going to do that on the right as well, just like that. And then I'm going to start on the pin below and go around those 3. So I'm not sure how else to explain it. You're basically just going to do triangles, and they will overlap on these pins right here. So I'm just going to keep doing that down the whole length of my loom until I reach right here. And this is what makes the look of the bracelet so cool. And by the way, this is my first time making the bracelet, so I'm actually following a pattern that I drew for myself. So that's definitely a good way to remember designs. Write them down on graph paper. I just used Courtney Nicole's video, and that really helps me out if I want to design something and I don't want to forget. So I just write down the steps and then draw the little diagram. So this is what my band placement looks like when I have finished. And I'll just show you what my loom looks like. As always, pause. So the order is the zebra bands, and then the pink lemonade, and then the Caribbean green. And if the quality's kind of weird, it's just because I'm zoomed in. So now I'm going to go to the bottom and place a cat band. I'm going to be using my zebra bands for the cat bands, but you can use whatever color you want. I recommend using the extension color, but it really depends on how you want the bracelet to look. And brightness is crazy, but I'm just going to grab my band and just wrap it around these 2 pins twice. This is just, it's easier to show this way. And now we can start the hooking process. So just grab your hook, and I'm just going to say that the pattern is the triangle bands, and then the single chain, and then the pink lemonade bands, but you definitely need to see it as well. So go inside the cat band, and you can see the top band is one of the triangle bands. Does not matter if it's on the left or the right. Mine happens to be on the right, so I'm just going to grab it, and you want to loop it onto this pin diagonal, as well as the pin above it. So this is where the long stretch comes in. And on the other side, I'm going to grab this band, hook it to this pin, and then stretch it. So now I'm going to just release my cat band so it's a little less tension. And if it gets too much tension for your loom, as you get to like the middle, you can release most of the first half. So that's just a little tip. And now I'm going to go back inside the cat band one more time and grab the zebra band and just loop it forward. So now the only thing I need to do is loop these bands, and you want to go inside the triangle band and just grab this band. It's going to be pretty loose, and you just want to bring that to the middle pin. And I'm going to push my bands down and then repeat on the other side. So the triangle bands go out and the pink bands go in. So that is the pattern. I'm just going to do that for the whole length of my loom. So I'll go through it, and it's kind of tricky because there's a lot of bands, but you just want to push them back I'm going to just find my top triangle band, goes diagonally, and then long stretch. Going to go back in and find the other one, making sure this is the only band I'm grabbing, like that. Then going to grab the very bottom band, loop it forwards, and finally, these bands are kind of out of order, but I'm going to grab my pink lemonade band and bring that to the middle pin. So I'm really sorry if I went too fast, I can't help it, but now I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. So, this angle's not really working out. I'm going to go inside this middle pin right here, push back the bands, and just get the first green band right here. It's going to go on the pin diagonal as well as the pin right above it. Okay, so I brought it closer, and the last thing I did was I looped this green band, so I'm going to have to go inside and grab the other one. I just want to be super careful at grabbing the correct bands. This goes diagonally and the long stretch. So it's right here. And then I'm going to go inside all of the bands again. And now you need to go inside the rest of these bands and just grab the very bottom one. This goes forward. And we just looped the green bands, so I'm going to go inside these layers and just loop in these two bands. And then I have done another finished chucking process. So it will look a little different right here, of course, because these bands were stretched out, but hopefully you get the idea. And I'm sorry for all the changing angles, but I can't really zoom in because then it'll be bad quality, and I also can't get it much closer because it's already only like 6 inches off above my loom. So yeah, I'm sorry if that made no sense, but basically my phone's really close and I don't want to like bump it. So now I'm going to just finally keep looming. So I'm going to just go inside these layers. It's pretty near the top. Grab this band and stretch it. And by stretch I just mean put it on these two pins, which is stretching it. Going to go back in, and my throat is killing me, sorry. And do another long stretch. Then finally just loop forward. And then going to the sides, it is these bands. Going to just explain that one more time, and then I'm going to loom on camera but without talking. So I'm going to grab the very top green band, put it on this pin, and then just put it on these two pins, sorry. Do the same. And then loop forward. And the pin we looped, we're going to just go diagonally downwards, this pin, and grab these bands. So that is how you loop the bracelet. I'm going to zoom out a bit and then just continue without talking because my throat hurts. And hopefully you understand. Feel free to watch the previous instructions. And I will be back to talking to show you how to take it off the loom. So, I'm just going to the last ones off camera because I don't want to run out of storage on my phone, but I will come back to show you how to do this last one because it's a little bit different. So I have almost finished the whole hooking process, and my loom looks like this, so make sure yours does too. And the only thing I need to do at the top is these 5 bands. So you're going to go inside the center, and I'm going to grab the Caribbean green, and that goes outwards. Like so. And I'm going to loop this forward, and then finally I'm going to just loop in. And now, to take it off the loom, you can see that there's a lot of tension on these bands, and you really need to use your hook and just slowly pick everything off, except for this band right here. So I'll be back, and you have to be super careful because you definitely don't want any bands to break at this point since we've worked so hard. So I have taken everything off the loom except for this band right here. And you saw this in the beginning, but here is the finished bracelet. And you can go ahead and just like untwist the bands here to make it look a little neater. Now I'm going to do the extension. So I'm just taking my zebra bands, making a single chain. And if you've seen the penguin black bands, I think, they're like the zebra bands, but there is black on the outside and white on the inside, just like the carnival bands. So, comment down below which bands you like better, the penguin black or the zebra stripe bands. You can just search on rainbowloom.com. And, yeah, I'm curious. Personally, I like the zebra bands because it's less of a harsh look to it. Now I'm going to take a band, just place it on this pin, put my hook through every band right here, and just pull that band through. Now you can place it right here on the end of your loom, or the end of the bands, and I'm going to loop the single chain. And the problem with all dual layered bands like this, the bands like to twist a lot, so that's why I would recommend doing this. That's why I would recommend doing the extension on your hook. Now I'm going to remove this from my loom, and they didn't get super twisted, but you can just fix anything if you'd like. And now I'm going to just attach my C-clip. Find the cat band, which is right here. Now, this is what my bracelet looks like. So that's how you make this Ruffles and Ribbons bracelet. I think it's super cool, and you can wear it on the back, but personally I like the signature side better, which is right here. This was again designed by _cutiecreations_. Make sure to put hashtag iCrafts stuff. And yeah, give this video a big thumbs up if you liked the tutorial. I'm sorry that I kept changing the angle and such, but I still really like it. And please subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!